What's up, guys? Lee and Tammy Sanders back with you all for an all-new episode of Wrestling with the Topics. Lee Sanders, as always. She is the beautiful and the lovely Tammy.
Hello.
Been a good minute since we did this show for you guys. What's it been now? I think we might have inadvertently missed a month.
I feel like that's about right.
It feels like, yeah, at least we missed about a month, and we were like trying to do our best to keep coming back to this show, but such is life, getting into the beautiful way. All the shows I do, this is the one I always look forward to the most, because this is where we get to have some of the most fun and philosophical talk. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend so far. Hopefully the weather is very kind. It's been very nice over here in the DMV. I actually was outside yesterday mowing the lawn after I had already planned on mowing the grass, but I didn't plan on mowing the grass until this coming week. I was going to go for a midweek, but one of my neighbors had came knocking on the door. What was that? Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. And he goes, "Hi, I'm so sorry to bother you." I said, "No, you're not bothering me at all. I'm trying to learn how to be a nicer neighbor to certain neighbors that have been nice to us over the years, whereas the other ones, it's like, fuck off, because they're assholes." So, but like I kept hearing from Tams, like, no, he's one of the good people. He's okay. Like, be nice to him. I'm like, okay, all right. And so I was like, "No, you're not bothering me. What's up?" He was like, "Can I borrow your lawnmower? I wanted to mow the grass out here." The grass wasn't getting out of hand, but you do got to be careful, especially when it rains, because when it rains, it's just, all over the place, weeds and the whole 9 yards. And so I said, no. I was going to mow tomorrow. He's like, "Well, you going to do it tomorrow?" I said, "I'm going to do it tomorrow." He's like, "Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. Sorry to bother you again." I said, "No problem at all. No problem at all." So I got out on Saturday. I was out at about 11 in the morning. I had a nice, cool, crisp breeze that was going on. I had my headphones on. I was jamming to some music, and I was just doing the damn thing. And I tell you what, I'm glad I didn't wait until next week, because it might have been much worse, especially since I think we're supposed to be getting some more rain. But just what I was able to mow, because when I think about it, when I first went out there some weeks back to mow the grass, it took me about an hour to mow all that. This go round, I was done in about maybe 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a big difference. There is a big difference. Big difference. So my semester is over. Thank God. I finished strong. I know I gave you guys an update last go around where my brain was just off my shoulders because I was running all over the damn place. But I'm happy to say here on this day, I see clearly. No, seriously. No, on this day, happy to say to you guys, the spring semester is in the books. Your man finished with A pluses, 2 classes I had got B's in. I think one was a B plus and the other course was a B. So I definitely made the dean's list. I can't wait to see how all that's going to go down. So that's going to be really cool. But a well-deserved rest from this semester. And the timing of it is very interesting, I got to say. The semester, the timing of it is very interesting that it's ending, because literally this coming week, I am supposed to be returning to my community college where I got my associates from. I'm supposed to be returning back there, and I'm supposed to be participating in the graduation there, because they gave me an opportunity. What was it? They notified me late last year that because I was part of the summer graduation class last year. So I was part of the summer 1, summer 2 session. They grouped me with those people. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to walk in the spring 2025 ceremony. So they gave me, they hit me up with an email around right before Thanksgiving. And they were like, "Hey, if you want to walk we'll recognize you all's class as part of the as part of the spring 2026 commencement. And it was like, oh, okay, cool. And I already told you guys I wasn't going to do it at first, but, wifey here, bless her heart, she was like, no, you should do it. You should. And more and more I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I should do it. Fucking A, let's do it. But I tell you what, I really feel sorry for everyone that has been affected by, I think they're called Herf Jones. This is a company that is in charge of like the regalia, basically all the cap and gowns, accessories for your cap and gowns and all that. They are under some serious hot water right now because I don't know if it's a tariff issue or what. Because, the shipping inflation, like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't want to speculate, but thousands of American households should already be having their regalia by now, especially if they're trying to do some type of alterations to it and shit. And I was on the phone with my campus Friday, and I'm like, yo, blah, 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 what's happening? And she was like, I wish I could help you more, but we're in the same boat. We were supposed to receive a box of regalias, for people that placed an order with us physically here at the campus. And she was like, in your case, since you went directly online, you're going to have to call them directly and find out what's going on. I'm like, okay, because they already read it in black and white. If you don't have your cap and gown, they're not going to let you walk. So it defeats the whole purpose of even coming up there and all that. So, yeah. So, but yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially when you follow the rules, you did it right, so on and so forth. And yet the company that you entrust with the products that you need can't deliver. That should be no fault of yours.
Exactly. And it's amazing how the campus, the lack of a response to this issue, like at least put out some type of a community post, email students, hey, we are aware of what's going on here, and we've been in contact with this company, and rest assured, if push comes to shove, and we're going to need to maybe adjust, possibly push the events back by a whole week, then okay, well then you got to do what you got to do, right? So it's really weird. So we still don't have ours. I ended up speaking directly to the people from their Virginia location, and they basically were like, look, if you don't see any movement this weekend, which right before we did the show live here, there was still in the same process. No movement. They basically were like, look, you've come early Monday afternoon, nothing. Call us back. And I already told Tams, I said, at that point, we'll just need to get our money back because it's like, very unprofessional. And would rather have the money back.
Literally, you have 4 days.
Mm-hmm. Really, 3.
Really 3.
Really 3, yeah.
Yeah, okay, 3 days.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's pushing it.
It's pushing it big time. I'm not a fan of that at all. So keep your fingers crossed, y'all. Maybe something will come through in the end there, because they were saying, oh, when it finally ships, it's going to be a 1 to 2 day turnaround. I'm like, okay. It's like, I hear you. Like, you're trying to have me keep hope alive, but I don't really know, man. I don't really know. A blessing in disguise, I got to tell you, because I'm kind of being a little bit reflective on a whole lot of things. And now that the semester is over, and yes, before anybody asks, I did sign up for fall 2026 classes. I've got a loaded up semester. I am very, very excited. Oh, I asked folks if y'all could like keep your fingers crossed and throw up a Hail Mary for me. I told them about one of the potential internships, which you know about. So sadly, folks, I did not get the internship. For those of you that are out of the loop and you don't know what I'm talking about, there was an opportunity to write for my campus's newspaper. And so I had applied, I gave samples of my work, all that good stuff. I went through a Zoom interview. I got tag teamed on by a total of 2 people that were doing the interview. And, I thought I did everything right. I thought I hit everything out of the gate. And, I was very, very confident. I was like, look, with my experience and just the podcasting and what I've done and as far as public relations goes and just everything, I'm like, I should be a shoo-in for this. And they decided they wanted to go in a different direction. I showed Tams the email, and it was a really nice, sweet letter or email. I like the fact that they were so personalized and really tailoring it in a way where it was, look, this isn't no generalized, we are trying to let you know that we do remember you. And I like the little things like it was great talking to you on Monday as an example. And then like you pointed out, and I didn't even pick this up. You were like, look, it has nothing to do with your writing ability and there was like one other thing that you mentioned because you were able to read in between the lines of all that. But as far as you guys like thinking, okay, so all that, like, why did they decide they want to go in a different direction? Me and Tams were thinking about that. And the only thing that made a lot of sense to us was they probably decided they wanted to go with somebody that was Beat Street ready because not for nothing, you do got to go out there in the community and you gotta mingle, you gotta network and all that other stuff. And so there's one particular class I have not taken yet, which is all about beat writing. Like legit, you are going out there and you're actually reporting the news for the respected beat that they give you, right? And so, that probably is really what has sealed the deal for me is the fact that I didn't have the beat writing experience yet. So, as I told Tams, I said, their loss, my gain, because that frees me up even more so I can just really focus on my classes and all that. And, it's all good. I'll tell you one thing that hasn't been good since last we were on the air with you guys. I haven't even named her yet, but she's been so good to me. What's it been now? 5 years? 5 years since I've had her? I think
guys, I have no idea what he's talking about.
She don't have no idea what he's talking about. You gave her to me, so I think it's been about 5 years. She still don't know what I'm talking about. Nope. I was talking about the car. It's been 5 years, right? At least almost 5 years. I know for a fact, 2021, I definitely was doing a little bit of driving.
Yeah, but I don't know that you fully had that car yet.
Feels like 2022, I was definitely driving more.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll give it to you 5 years.
Yeah, give me 5 years. About 5 years, and my car, which is a 2003 Honda Accord, for those of you car aficionados out there, so you already know. Oh, those things are a tank. Yeah. She's starting to give out. Like, as far as I can tell, there's nothing wrong with the transmission. There's nothing wrong with the engine. And I thank God this happened because, literally I started having issues with the car when the semester ended. So, like...
The very last day.
The very last day of classes, as a matter of fact.
It actually started on the second to last day of classes.
Yeah.
And the last day of classes, it was just like, look, man.
Yeah. Help! That's literally what I was saying on the last day. I started getting this white smoke that started coming from under the hood. I'm like, what the fuck is that about? And when I pulled over to, check it and everything, see what was going on, I was noticing like certain parts under the hood seemed like some wetness got to them, like steamy. It seemed very steamy, you know? You know how it is when you come out of a nice steamy bath and all that. I'm like, I'm looking for cracks. I'm looking for leaks. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm not seeing anything. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what that's about. I told Tams what happened. And she's like, check the coolant level. Check the coolant level. See what's going on with your coolant. Check your temperature gauge. Make sure your temperature is okay. I'm like, okay. All that seemed fine. And like, okay, I don't know what's going on. So on that day of my final day of classes, and I already kind of peeped a little something the day before, but like I didn't think it was anything. That's the thing. What I saw before, there was barely any smoke. It kind of seemed like one of those, you know, hey, the weather's getting kind of hot. You know, the hood of your car kind of looks like you could put 2 eggs on it and watch it, you know, fry on top of the hood. I didn't really pay too much attention. But like the next day, the steam was really like, it was like, a little bit of smoke. Ooh, what's going on here? And so like literally I'm like right behind the corner. And all of a sudden, white smoke is coming through the air vents. Right? I'm like, oh shit. Like I can't see shit. I mean, this almost looks like a scene from Cheech and Chong, right? I was like, I had to hurry up. You know those little raggedy ass homes. Like right after you come off the exit.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And you know how you got to do that.
Yes.
You got to do that protective right turn, but then you're at the light.
Yeah.
You got the little raggedy. So I was right there when all the Cheech and Chong smoke popped up.
That's still a little bit.
And this is what I had to And this is what I had to do. I had to immediately go into that raggedy ass development to try to figure out like what the fuck, to try to buy myself some time because I couldn't see shit.
Right.
So like I had to like immediately roll down the windows and open up the hood roof, and I had to like immediately just detour to that development. And then I parked for like about 5 minutes, and it was like, okay, it's gone. I was like, okay, let me hurry up now and let me try to see if I can get home. And then like a little bit more smoke, but it wasn't as bad as what I experienced before. Yeah. So I was able to finally park the car, and I was like, whew, you know, and she's been across the street ever since, thank God. But yeah, so I don't know, man. A lot of fun memories with that car. I'm hoping like whatever is going on with it, it can be saved. I have in my head a couple of scenarios what it could possibly be. And I'm hoping that it's one of those things because it's inexpensive if it is one of those things. If it's not one of those things and it's more on the pricier side, then it's a case where this is the end. My only friend, the end. You know, unfortunately. That thing is a tank though, man. I mean, not for nothing, but what did I say last? It's got almost 280,000 miles. 285,000 miles. So, you know, been through a lot. When Tams first gave me the car, she gave me the car when it was either
225.
It was about what?
225.
225? For some reason, I was under the impression you gave it to me when it was like 190 something thousand miles.
Maybe.
I remember 190.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just one of the ones at times I looked at it was 220.
Now some of you guys may be going, God damn, Lee, like that was like majority of it, like 90% of that shit, mileage wise. That was gig delivery.
Mm-hmm.
That was gig delivery.
Yep.
So you pay the cost. You pay the cost when you're doing the fucking gig delivery work. I'm telling you guys, man. So there's that. And I tell you this though. I'm hoping that we're able to do something with that car for the better, you know, because I love it, man. It's nice having a really cool. Yeah, basically, I'm not ready to throw in the towel yet. Okay, I'm not ready to throw in the towel yet. That's all. Speaking of throwing in the towel, what the fuck was up with that MVP Most Valuable Promotions Netflix special Saturday night? Ronda Rousey versus Carano. Man, look, what we watched, the main card basically with the prelims, like I loved seeing all that shit go down. You know, oh wow, these motherfuckers ain't playing around. They're getting shit done in one round joints. You know, it's like they got 3 rounds, but they like fuck this. I'm in this. Like that shit was good. Like I love that. And then we have finally got to. I'm trying to think. You know, when it came to Robelis Despain taking on Francis Ngannou, man, that fight particular, I'm looking at Despain and I'm like, yo, this shit right here, like this is what's up. Like this is where it's at right here. And my brain is like all over the place because a lot of these faces I've never seen before, but then I was homing in on the names that I did recognize, the people whose work I did follow over the years, whose fights I did follow over the years, like Nate Diaz. And I was telling Tams this, I said, that is not the Nate Diaz that I remember seeing, 15 years ago or whatever. The Nate Diaz that I remember, he kind of slacked off a bit. At least that's my impression. Again, my impression, my interpretation. But he seemed like a bit of a slacker. But it was one of those cases where, yeah, you keep thinking that you gonna get one over on Nate Diaz. Like Nate gonna fuck you up. He might not look like it, but Nate's gonna fuck you up. But this Nate that showed up to the fight last night, this Nate looks like he really did not train. If he did train, I don't think he did enough training. Because he looked. Now look, the Nate Diaz I remember, he could take an ass whooping. That's without a doubt. And now that was still intact. But just as far as there's something off. There was really, really something off in that fight big time. And I tell you what, having the fight be stopped because the bleeding could not be controlled, like it couldn't be stopped by his cut man and all that, I thought that was the lamest way to end a fucking fight. So for those of you that, don't know what we're talking about, basically, and it was at this point when we got to this Nate Diaz fight, this was our first fight where, hey, it's going past 1 round, finally. Mm-hmm. And this was, I think this was a joint where it was 5-minute rounds. And so they were beating the shit out of each other for like, they were beating the shit. I'm trying to think of the other guy's name. It'll come to me in a minute. But I think after was it the second or the third round? I think it was after maybe the third round, looking at Nate Diaz, and his face was just ground chuck like a motherfucker. I mean, his face was bloodied the fuck up. And he fucking, he was open everywhere, blood. I mean, crimson. That dude was it was unrecognizable. So they took the guy into the corner, and his crew, they're doing everything. They're cleaning him up, all that shit. And then the referee, he's looking, and keep in mind, there was a really damn good punch that went down. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but I'm fucking blanking now. You guys got to forgive me. I'm gonna actually look up I'm trying to look up the card right now for you guys. Hang on. Bear with me a second here, guys. And Tams, if you can help me out and try to pull up the card for me. Because I hate just going over. Okay, I'm looking. Pull up your card, and then that way we can kind of bounce off of each other with some of these names. Mike Perry is who I'm thinking about. That was in the welterweight. That was part of the main card on Netflix. The referee, he's looking at Nate Diaz and his crew that's trying to clean his face up and all that. And he's not liking the fact that Nate is still bleeding. And he just goes, okay, I'm going to stop it. So we had a TKO corner stoppage. And I'm looking at Tams. I'm going, what the flying fuck? Why are we like, this makes no sense. No, like, go ahead. Let's continue to do it. Nate is still willing to fight. I think the referee was doing Nate a favor personally because he saw how he was getting his ass handed to him right in like the final 30 seconds of the bout. And he probably felt, you know what, I'm not really seeing enough. I don't think Nate's going to really be able to come out of this. And, so how can I? Well, he was bleeding rather excessively. Let me see if his crew. And I thought his crew did a good job cleaning him up, but they weren't really sealing the damages.
May not be able to.
May not been able to. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So we had that one. Kenneth Cross taking on I butchered this guy's name. Saladin Pernazi in the lightweight division. That shit was over in the first round. Fucking TKO. Some people could say, a little bit of controversy involved in that one, though. And the controversy can come from the fact that for SP, I'm gonna start referring to him as SP. I did see a couple of punches that was going to the back of Cross's head. And like Tams was watching this match, so she can tell you too. Like we were seeing a decent amount of punches that was going to the back of Cross's head. And it was like, wait a minute here. Like that should be illegal. Like what the fuck is going on? And we're like literally yelling at the TV. We're like, ref, what the fuck? And then finally, I guess after like the first 5 to 7 punches to the back of the head, the ref is now going, watch the back of the head, watch the back of the head. And we're like, what the fuck you mean? Where were you the 7 other goddamn punches, right? So there was a little bit of, bullshit that was kind of going on in there. I thought I saw maybe a couple of low blows as well. But that's just me. But definitely the strikes to the head was like a big no-no for me. Robelas de Spain, that was the first one that we watched, taking on Junior Dos Santos. That was in the heavyweight division. We both looked at Dos Santos. I heard my man coming out to the Rocky Balboa theme. I'm like, yo, if you coming out to Rocky, your ass better win. Like, seriously. And out of the gate, what did we see? He did a nice, good, strong right kick.
A good, strong 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay, no, 2 minutes.
Of great offense from Dos Santos.
Yes.
He connected with some really good right kicks to the left ankle of Despain. And when that first kick hit Despain, I'm going, ooh, he wobbly. I'm like, look at it. I'm like, look at it, babe. Look. That man's leg is already wobbling. Like, that's his kill right there. Focus on that leg. Take, that's it. Like, you got him. You could even maybe get his ass in a submission hold or something like this is it. And for the love of me, I couldn't figure out why Dos Santos was like really weird offense from this dude, because immediately after he did those kicks to the ankle, like he just stopped. And instead, what he was trying to do was, I remember a couple of times he tried lunging for the leg, and Despain made him pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dos Santos was like, okay, well, I'm just going to focus on my upper game then. I'm just going to focus on upper strikes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, no, why are you doing upper strikes? Like, you got him, his leg, like he's wobbling on that left ankle. Focus on that left ankle. You know, if anything, you should be trying to con him with the upper hands. He's going to be expecting the upper hands, and you got to figure out some type of a punch kick combo where you're fucking with that ankle. And for the love of me, Dos Santos, it never clicked. At least, what did you see? What did you? Were you seeing the same thing, or did you see something a little bit different?
I saw mostly the same thing. The only added piece I would add is, Dos Santos came out very strong, and then he deferred from what was working because I'm sorry, the other fighter's name?
Despain.
Despain was nervous. I mean, because most people, beginning of the fight, you know, first fight, nerves.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't take advantage of that.
No, he didn't.
So then when Despain got stronger, he then tried to change tactics. And that didn't work. And then it just went downhill from there.
And yes, somehow Despain was able to defeat Santos.
Right.
I mean, it was just...
Because, like I said, it went downhill from there.
Would you say it was
he could never rebound.
Would you say it was a case where... I'm just kind of playing the match back in my head now. Would you say it was a case where the longer the fight went, like, that decreased the Santos chance more? Because, I mean, he is an older fighter.
Possibly. Because, obviously, if you're putting all your power into trying to do a one move to take this dude out or get him to the ground, then that's taking power from other places because you're using all your energy for that versus, you know, the latter.
Mm-hmm. Really makes you wonder, you know, because Despain is 37 and Santos is 42, going on 43. So, I mean, not too much of a significant age difference, but it does come down to the conditioning, right? It does come down to the cardio and all that. It just really makes you wonder. But yeah, that's what we were looking at. And then Francis Ngannou versus Felipe Lins. Francis picking up the win there. I told Tabs, I said, it's all in the eyes, Chico. The eyes don't lie.
That's true.
I looked at Francis. I said, yo, that dude's going to whoop that. We're going to whoop that ass. I've never seen Francis before. So I'm like, literally, for these two guys, I'm like, literally, this is my first time looking at them. I'm like, yeah, always bet on black. But no, seriously, I looked at Francis' eyes and I said, yo, this dude looked like he about that business. That was actually one of my favorite bouts of the night, I gotta say. Let's talk about this damn women's featherweight. We did not watch the preliminary card. I wish there would have been a better job promoting
the preliminary card.
Yeah, because apparently you would have been able to watch it for free on YouTube. You can still watch it for free on YouTube. It was about 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, was the prelims, and the prelims had like,
so what was that, like 1, a 5-hour show?
3, 4, 5. Prelim card had 6 matches.
Wow.
Yeah. 6 matches. What we watched had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches. Yeah. Let's talk about this Ronda Rousey defeating Gina Carano submission armbar in the first round, 17 seconds. Let's talk about that.
What's there to talk about?
What's there to talk about? I'll tell you what. I saw fucking more physical interaction between Ronda and Carano after the match than I did in the 17 seconds of the fucking round. I mean, my God, I was yelling at the TV post-match. I'm like, would you all stop fucking hugging each other? Like, seriously, you're giving us more action than the actual fight itself. Like, what the fuck? Get a room already. Jesus.
It felt very suspect.
Yeah.
You build up the hype. You do all this promo. You do all this advertising and the build-up, and that's great. But the actual fight, that was a major letdown.
Yeah.
Major letdown.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't even go on a whole minute. Like, make it believable. Make it make sense. Mm-hmm. And that's 17 seconds. Now, which was interesting because you literally, right before they literally went toe-to-toe, you had Amaro saying 9 of those fights were ended in under a minute.
Yeah.
And fucking 5 moves after that, it was done.
Was it even 5 moves? Shit.
Probably more like 4.
I mean, but this is what I don't understand. And I know some people are going to push back and they're going to be like, but that's Ronda's MO. Like, this is what she does best. But I just want to counter that.
Counter that.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of her fights.
Yeah.
Have they been that short before?
They have been that short before, yes, but where I kind of push back a little bit, it's like, yo, where I was going, there's so much footage of Ronda Rousey. Like, Carano's team should have been like, look, out the gate, this is what she's going to try to look for. So you need to do what you need to do to fight that off. If she tries charging at you, like a bull in a china shop, you need to be able to do a side step and then knock her with a strike. And then if you're able to continue to stay on top of her, because she's not going to see that coming, bait her, sell fear, sell XYZ, bait her, make her come into you. And then once you got her hook, line and sinker, then you knock her ass out. Like, that should have been the direction. That was honestly the direction I thought it was going to be going. Did I expect for Ronda to win? I felt it really could have gone either way. I was under the impression it was going to have to come down to a referee decision. That's the impression that I truly was under. Now, maybe I kind of overhyped myself a little bit or whatever, but with so much footage that's out there of Ronda Rousey and the few people that can lay claim to, yo, I did beat her, Holly Holm being one of them. Like Holly Holm is like literally she's giving you the blueprint. She's giving you the blueprint on how to defeat Ronda. So there's so much archive footage that's out there. I mean, okay, we may not at our core be true MMA diehards, but we do know our football. And when it comes to football, what do we always see? When a new quarterback comes along and he's taking the nation by storm, but he's taking the nation by storm. And they're like, oh, what the fuck? Like, he's doing schematics and all kinds of shit, and like nobody can figure out how to curb stomp this dude, right? Or you want to say it's the team, like whatever, right? What typically happens? The more footage that you get of them, the more you're able to go, okay, now they're no longer an unknown variable. Now we've got enough footage. We know what they're about now. So this is how we prepare. And, it was nice hearing Carano say, hey, I did all this training. It really would have been nice to get some strikes off. And
that was nice.
It was nice hearing her say that, right? So she's going, look, to my satisfaction, like,
I ain't get it all out.
Right.
I got some left in the tank and I wasn't able to. Now, on my thought process with it, let me tell you something. When she came out there, in her face, her demeanor, and her eyes, all of that was about business. Let me go do this shit. I'm out. And literally, she didn't crack a smile. She ain't do nothing. It was like, if any of you guys know about Rocky IV, absolutely, Ivan Drago in the face. Like, nothing. Like, she, it was like a stone wall. So she was in that zone for sure, which probably helped. But for Carano, it's kind of like, okay, but you have all this footage. You should be able to have a counter for at least 70% of her stuff.
Yeah. At least. I don't know. It was weird. It really makes you wonder if there was some, and how much did you say Ronda Rousey got paid?
$2.2 million.
$2.2 million for 17 seconds. That is pretty damn good. That is pretty damn good.
We can also bear the argument that it wasn't just 17 seconds. Because all the training, all the weeks, to be able to account
the promoting,
that 17 seconds was, it was already there. Mm-hmm. It's in the small things, it's in the small wins that you get to where you need to be. But still, one could make that one could make that argument that it was literally 17 seconds. But for me, I'm not saying that it should have went 3 rounds. I'm saying make it believable. And for me, it was just, you barely got into the actual match.
Yeah.
Before it was over.
Let's talk about some of the...
And you're mentioned for the, it's always controversial with the referee that was doing it.
Yeah, the referee, I wish I could remember his name right now. I don't want to... I'll let the slew detectives do their thing. But, like, from the UFC days, every time I saw him, like, there was always controversy with that referee. And as I told you, I said, I wonder who the referee is. I said, I hope it's not who I think it is. And then sure enough, they showed his ass. I said, fuck. And I was like, the fix is in, because he's always involved in bullshit. There are some positives for those of you that, maybe didn't watch the event, but, overall, like, what would you say for the event and all that? Like, we all know that a big issue for fight fans, it's just the sickening operations of UFC, how they pay their fighters peanuts, while the Dana Whites, Ari Emanuel's, TKO as a whole, like, they are just reaping in all the fucking money. Like, as far as the fighters goes, we've known this for years upon years upon years. Low fucking payouts for the fighters. So to have the MVP co-boss and Jake Paul always making it a point of trying to, resolve these pay issues for the fighters and all that, and like literally putting his own money where his mouth is and everything, making sure that these fighters walk out with a decent amount of money. I mean, that's really, really good. The CSAC, they released the fight purses for the promotion's first MMA event, and no fighter, get this, y'all, no fighter made less than $40,000. Furthermore, 3 competitors made over $1 million, which, as we talked about earlier, Ronda Rousey did $2.2 million. So MVP MMA, doing its thing right there with the pay increase for the fighters. That's what you want as a fan. Mm-hmm. That's what you want. So that's really, really good. The Rousey Carano, it felt big. MMA definitely, I like the way this event was billed, because it was essentially, look, we're going to do a little bit of nostalgia here. right? Nostalgia
Yes.
is what sells. We're gonna try to build around that, right? And Rousey, Carino, it did feel big. Like regardless, whether you wanted to see these, MMA female pioneers in their own respective right, whether you wanted to see them fight or not, you wanted to check it out on Netflix. It did have that big bout feel to it. The overall presentation, no hiccups from what I was able to see. I mean, this did not look amateurish at all.
No.
At all. This looked like something that's been around for some decades. The way that they did it. Right?
That's true.
Even better than the HBO Showtime boxing, and that says a lot because there used to be a time where like this is where you need to get to, like this is how you freaking do it, and all that. So I definitely want to see more of this in the near future. I definitely want to see more cross promotion fights. Definitely would love to see that. I think they're on to something though. It's definitely got a nice Strike Force kind of feel to it. They're definitely on to something there. But I was talking about nostalgia earlier. Like a lot of these names that was on that card, it reeked of nostalgia. And let's be honest with our society, nostalgia rules. Like as far as society goes, it rules. You look at, for example, I mean, where do you want to go? I mean, you can look at Stranger Things and how that's basically ripping off of the 80s.
Yes.
You can, or if you want to go more recent, you can look at The Connors, which just wrapped up last year, but that was a spinoff from a popular 80s. It actually started in the 80s TV sitcom Roseanne. You look at, where else can we go with that? I mean, there's just so many damn examples of nostalgia that always seems to make a comeback. The Rocky franchise, we've seen so many times the Rocky Balboa franchise and how that eventually spawned off into Creed and all that. Nostalgia always seems to bring people back to the dance, right? Robert Downey Jr. going back to MCU. All right. This time, though, he's going to be Dr. Doom. But still, the fact that he's coming back, the fact that Chris Evans is coming back, the fact that it's all about recapturing that whole.
Now, it's all about recapturing a feeling.
Yeah.
And of that time and place where things were different. They were better. They were something you knew. And I think that's why, the people want that. They want to have something recreated from their childhood or their, teens or whatever have you, to be able to go and remember the time.
Yeah. I was getting ready. I was going somewhere with that, but I'm glad you jumped in when you did. I read an interesting article. I think it was by CNBC. There is this guy through his respected company that has purchased 80 Pizza Hut franchises, and he has done a retro revamp. He has gone back and done the Pizza Huts that we remember from back in the 80s. So he's brought back the classic arcade machines.
Wow.
He's brought back the red and white checkered cloths over the tables.
Yep, absolutely.
He's brought back the booths. He's brought back how the pizza is served to
on the
you.
Plate.
In the pan.
Yep.
In the pan and bring the plates.
Yeah.
The salad bar, the whole 9 yards, the vintage circular lights. And his whole thing is, if we can tap back into that nostalgia, that period where, hey, this is something where you want to take the entire family and we can have it go down in a way where y'all can put your phones down and enjoy each other's company, then we're accomplishing our mission and everything. And I'm like, yeah, that type of nostalgia right there, to your point, we're talking about tapping back into certain people's childhoods. Like there's certain things that people remember. Oh, this was so good on like so many levels. And then like to have that person be excited. And then maybe that person has a kid or kids. And so we're talking about
new generation,
right? Of inheritance, right? Like this is being passed on, kind of like what we see happen with wrestling to a certain degree and everything. And, like you hear that and like it's great that the Pizza Hut thing, and I hope it's a success, right?
Me too.
Because we're also seeing Burger King trying to do their own thing, right?
Now,
wait a minute, because I want to make this point before I forget. But here's the thing: the nostalgia doesn't mean anything if your prices aren't reasonable for the consumers. That's all I wanted to say.
True. You have to truly balance that. That's true. Now, listen, as far as for me, there was nothing better than the taste of that pizza from Pizza Hut when they brought it out to you fresh. Yummy. But I just had to.
I thought she was getting ready.
But going back to the Burger King part of the nostalgia, so we have this nice little, Whopper, and I'm not a big fan, but, Lee's like, hey, what's happening? Try this. And I'm like, okay. And for the first few bites, I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. And then I'm like, He's like, what? I'm like, that don't taste right. And he's like, what are you talking about? It's fine. I was like, okay. So I had another bite. And I'm like, no, I'm not eating any more of it. So, and he had one bite. And then he had another bite. And he was like, ugh. And I was like, see? And so we have banned our particular Burger King that's near us.
Yeah, I don't know, because I saw the report about tried a new Whopper. We went back to make it how you used to enjoy it from back in the day, and I'm like, oh, really? And so I picked it up. It was funny because when I was over there at the Burger King down the street from us, like there was a long ass line, and I'm like, oh, I came on a good day. Like everybody's hungry, like legit. I wasn't saying that sarcastically. I was just like, oh, okay, this is where I need to be. And so I had like half the Whopper and it was good. It was a double Whopper, actually. Double Whopper.
Okay.
Because remember, there was 2 meat patties in that bitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a double Whopper.
Okay.
And so I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. I'm like, and it was so hearty. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I save half, right? Because when I took it home and I took it out the wrapper, I was like, whoa, that's a big boy. I took a knife and I said, yeah, let me just cut this in half. And my half was good. And yeah, it tastes like, that's why I can describe it. That second half that Tams was eating, and then I took a bite or two and it was like, what the fuck? Kind of seemed like, not undercooked, but it seemed like it was going bad. That's the best way I can describe it. It seemed like it was going bad. And I just remember saying to her, because I've always been a fan of Burger King, but like as of late, like it's been hit or miss with this particular Burger King. I just said, yeah, let's just give Burger King a rest, man. Because seriously, and I don't even mess with them like that. I mess with them maybe like once every other month.
Yeah,
or like every 2 months. Like I gotta have like a real good craving for Burger King, right? Because my running gag has always been they make better burgers, but McDonald's has the fries.
Now, see, I actually think it's actually the opposite. McDonald's or anybody else has better burgers, because I'm not a big charbroil taste fan. But their fries of old were always bomb. I mean, they were always great.
Yeah.
And McDonald's fries are generally okay. So for me, it was the opposite. But either way, he's correct on the hit or miss.
You know, while we were talking about food, I didn't even mean for us to go down this rabbit hole. But look, if y'all got access to a Roy Rogers, y'all got to go to Roy's for breakfast. Y'all got to go to Roy's for breakfast, right? Now, Tams will tell you her personal favorite for breakfast in a minute. But, like, let me tell you something. Motherfuckers, if you love hush puppies, I'm telling you, when I say this, it's going to sound crazy as fuck. But listen, Roy Rogers makes the best fucking hush puppies. Okay? I mean, that shit tastes like soul. That shit tastes like a black person made that. All right? And I remember when we had it recently. It was earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa. And I was taken back, because I was expecting, just some bullshit ass, bland ass, but it was bursting with flavor in every single bite. And I'm like, wow, it reminded me of a couple of soul food restaurants, ma and pa soul food restaurants that I used to eat at in Southeast DC. I know there was one place I used to eat at particularly. I think it was called Georgia Brown's or something Brown's.
I feel like I remember.
It was up around. It was up around the Thomas Circle area. Yeah. No, not the Thomas Circle area. Actually, no. I think it was somewhere around downtown DC. That much I remember. Somewhere around downtown DC, and you had to wear. You couldn't walk into that place wearing jeans and tennis shoes. You had to wear dress pants and all that to eat there. But man, they had bomb ass hush puppies, cornbread. And so when I was biting into those hush puppies earlier this week, I was like, holy shit. So don't sleep on the hush puppies. Don't sleep on the what do they call those? Are those potato wedges or
potato rounds?
Don't sleep on the potato rounds.
So just to piggyback just a smidge second. So my mom and I actually went to Bojangles yesterday. There's one up near us. So they call them boat tots. And guys, when I tell you that is the biggest tater tot I have ever seen in my entire life, that is the biggest tater tot. And they are actually really good.
Oh, you did that for breakfast? Mm-hmm. I've had that before. Yeah, that shit. Them things are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like 2 quarters put together.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
But they were really, really good and very tasty. So
they're like the size. They're almost the size of like
an orange juice cap.
Yeah, they're almost the size of like maybe 4 individual cubes. Yeah. In a Rubik's Cube put together.
That's true, and about 1 inch thick.
Yeah.
So it was very tasty and
You mentioned Bojangles. I had set you up perfectly to let folks know your favorite breakfast item from Roy's.
Okay. So my favorite breakfast item from Roy's is actually, I love their sourdough sandwich. It's, got egg and ham, or you can put another meat on it, in the midst of sourdough bread, and it's toasted. And of course, I also like their biscuits and gravy too. That's a close second. But and generally I put, which I didn't do this time. I'm mad at myself. I usually put tomato on it, and salt and pepper. And then by the time everything else that's on it is like bomb. Now, I absolutely second that notion on the hush puppies. I've had a lot of hush puppies in the DMV area, and that is by far the best hush puppies I've ever had.
Yeah. Fucking bomb, man. Seriously. Fucking bomb. I'm like, fucking delicious, man. Go get you some. So look, we were talking about nostalgia and all that, and like not for nothing, but some of the food items that we've been talking about for the past several minutes, is definitely part of that whole nostalgia, tapping into like a little bit of childhood there and all that. Let's talk a little wrestling for a little bit. I wanted to get your thoughts, from a casual fan, but definitely from a business perspective, right? On what you've been seeing with these releases that happened in the past couple of weeks, and just where your headspace is at when you see all of this go down.
Well, from the casual wrestling fan piece of it, the people that they let go, they haven't been doing crap with. Like nothing. Like I haven't barely seen a storyline. I haven't heard about a storyline. Even, a revamp or, what have you. They stick with what works over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And there's no change up. There's no new blood. There's not, or at least not much. And though I absolutely think Roman Reigns is awesome, and yes, he should be a top guy, and he is, but what about the other people? What I don't see is that you're bringing up newer, fresher talent through the ranks so they can be a Roman Reigns at some point. I don't see that. I don't see that. I see a lot of jobbers. I see, lame ass storylines. And
hang on.
At least I'm just saying in a general nutshell.
Let me push back. I got to push back because we got to make sure that when you're saying that, I got to at least represent the people that's hearing you and they go, wait a minute, Tams, I think you're misinformed, because I can hear somebody saying to you, well, what about Obafemi? What about the fact that JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and what's the other girl, y'all, from Lethal Influence? The fact that they're now on the SmackDown roster and they beating the crap out of Charlotte Flair and, a few other girls. What about that? What about the fact that Trick Williams has been doing a really great job since he came over to the main roster? He's been involved in a solid feud with Sami Zayn, although we had the funeral for the gingerbread man. That kind of rubbed people the wrong way. We got Danhausen, but some people feel that we're getting too much Danhausen and it's now becoming oversaturated. We've got Sol Ruka, who signed, now part of the main Raw roster, and it seems like eventually she's on a crash course to be doing a program with Becky Lynch. So I'll pause there, but that's just some examples of...
So, duly noted. But for me, what I'm seeing as a casual fan, that's what I'm saying. I see that you've got a lot of talent on your roster that you're not doing anything with. So, and then when you're not doing anything with them, or at least I don't see you trying. Now, that's a whole nother subject for another day. Then at that point, you have no other choice because they're just dead weight to you now. They're not really doing anything. They're just kind of on the roster. And it's like, okay, well, now we need to free up capital because of this thing or that thing. This is more the business part. We got to free up capital for this thing or that thing. So now we're not pushing for some of these stars that we have who have been here for a long time, or even, not quite a long time, but they're still relatively new. Then we're freeing up capital and we're letting them go. So I guess as a casual fan, for me, what I'm saying is, I don't see that you're working with them before you're freeing them up. So it makes me wonder if you were ever going to intend on doing that. And you still have some names that were released that carry some weight that could absolutely go to another promotion and kill it.
A la Kari Sane.
Right.
Who was featured heavily in the Asuka Io Sky feud.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, as a business, why the hell would you, unless you personally, then that's a failure on y'all. Unless you personally said, I can't do anything with this person. But apparently you can, because you literally just did. And then it's like, oh, well, yesterday's garbage.
Let me get you to go on record. Your thoughts on them, because I've already spoken about it, but there's legit folks that want to know, certain things you got to say. What's your thoughts on New Day no longer in WWE? Kofi Kingston, fucking 20 years with the WWE. Xavier Woods, I don't know, 16 years or whatever.
Those are actually, I will tell you that those two surprised me. I feel like they could have had some years left in the tank. And it's kind of like, okay, so is it years or is it creative? What's really the problem here? That's my thought.
It still rattles bye-bye. So think about this, everybody. Think about this. So we get rid of all these people. Now, this is just a report that's floating around. So don't just take it with a grain of salt. But there's rumors floating around that WWE could be interested in bringing back Baron Corbin. So I say to you, no Xavier Woods, no Kofi Kingston.
But you bring back Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So we get rid of 32 people.
To bring back one?
To bring back Baron Corbin.
That makes no sense to me. None. None. None.
It
makes as much sense to me as the AI storytelling.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Allegedly. But, I gotta say, man, it makes you wonder.
Listen, for me, I do truly believe, or no, let me rephrase that. I truly feel for myself that they're making some bone-ass headed moves. A TKO. Because so here's the thing. Now, some of the cuts probably came because WrestleMania wasn't near as profitable as they wanted it to be.
Could be.
Okay, so that's partly.
Could be.
Some. Okay, fine.
Could be.
And they're trying to make budget cuts and keep everything flowing. But here's the thing, is you should know this when you're literally not raising your prices a quarter, not even fucking half, 3 or 4 times what they should be. And the fans are responding by, fuck you, fuck the company, I ain't paying for that shit because I gotta feed my family.
Well, they doing something right.
Now grant you, they're still gonna make money.
Yeah.
They're a global juggernaut.
Yeah.
They're still gonna make money. That's a given. But your casual fan and the person that wants to take them and their family on a night out to go see a wrestling event is not going to do that. Mm. Now you're getting into your high rollers and, people who have it like that. And I'm not saying, no, that's not everybody, but the other way, there was a mixture of both. Mm. This way, it's one or the other. Mm-hmm. So the thing with what I'm saying, as far as, a business, you can't run a business effectively and expect it to continue to flourish if you don't have both. At least in my mind.
To your point, WWE apparently is getting ready to do some summer tour dates. And they are claiming that with these summer tour dates, the tickets are going to be very, very affordable. I want to read to you this article here. Shout out to the good folks over on Takedown on SI. A number of veterans have actively been pushing for house shows to return in recent months, and these events will also come to benefit of those in attendance. No surprise, but the idea is that WWE house show tickets this summer will be far more affordable, Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer reported this week. And as we know, Cody Rhodes, he's been very vocal about, but the way it's looking for these summer tour dates, it looks like Cody Rhodes is going to be on there, Rhea Ripley, Trick Williams, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Obafemi, Jade Cargill. They're all being advertised for this house show loop and everything. But keep in mind, the card is always subject to change. Mm-hmm. So the dates right now, it's only 10 dates. Looks like Saturday, July 11th. Looks like Pan American Center in New Mexico. Sunday, July 12th. They're going to be at the Pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. July 16th, they'll be in PPL Center in Allentown, Pennsylvania. July 25th, Stockton, California. July 26th, Bakersfield, California. July 30th, Bank of Springfield Center in Illinois. August 6th, I'm familiar with this arena very, very well. I remember them when they were the Patriot Center. I saw Soundgarden perform there.
Oh, Eagle Bank Arena?
Yeah, Eagle Bank Arena, Fairfax, Virginia. Yeah, love that. Great venue. Great fucking venue. New Hampshire, Manchester, New Hampshire. What's that? August 13th. 2 more dates for you guys. Savannah, Georgia on August 29th. And wrapping up, South Carolina, the North Charleston Coliseum. Mm-hmm. So some pretty, for those of you that's like, concerned and you're like, hey, I can't afford, like, take a look at that.
Well, at least they have remoted in an option, it'll be interesting to see what those cheaper prices are.
Yeah, like, are we talking just $5 or are we talking,
$350 for nosebleeds?
Right. Like, what are we really talking here for the house shows? Mm-hmm. I mean, it would make them so much money, but also at the same time, it would give those younger wrestlers more reps, right?
Absolutely.
It would give them the ability to hone their craft even more, right? It would give the main stars an opportunity to, hey, thinking about this story arc, like what they used to do in the past when they were getting ready to introduce new story arcs, they would first introduce them to the live house shows, fine tune. That way, by the time it got to the main roster, they already worked out the kinks and they're ready to fucking go. So, honestly, though, what they really need to focus on, besides all that, food.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they're sleeping on the food. You know, it shouldn't cost you $50 for a soft drink, a hot dog,
and a bag of nachos.
and a bag of nachos. It shouldn't cost you $50,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Agreed.
Kids under the age of 12, they should be able to eat for free. They should be able to get like one complimentary meal, at least.
Well, hell, at least, or okay, your kids, you get a $5 meal.
Yeah, because look at what the Nationals are doing. Like every Tuesday or whatever,
Right.
you can get a hot dog. You can get a hot dog, popcorn,
Right.
drink, $5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if all that's $5. I'm pretty sure it is, but like
That sounds about right.
that's like a damn good deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and so
offer a reward system. I don't know if that's maybe going to be through WWE Club, but offer a reward system. Like, okay, you got this. Hey, your next concession meal is going to be 50% off.
Yep.
Like after you punch out like 10.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. I mean, there is so the collaboration between the event and food is so powerful. A reference to, getting, excuse the French, getting asses in seats.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this particular day is a little light. So why don't we just offer a $5 what have you?
Mm-hmm.
Where's she sleep? Just offer a $5 what have you. And now it's like, oh, okay, well, you know what? Okay. Why don't we, it's a good day for, ball game. And we get, a discount on food.
Right.
So, it's all about marketing. It's all about, what do the consumers want? What works, what doesn't? How to, literally put money in your pocket.
The one thing I've kind of been noticing in 2026 so far, we were kind of talking about this off air. I want to expand upon the thought even more. Now that the Triple H honeymoon period is over, and by the way, I love what Kevin Nash had to say in defense of Triple H Paul Levesque. For those of you that, just the bullet points, he pretty much buried the hell out of TKO and basically was like, stop putting your finger in the dike. Leave Triple H the fuck alone. Let him do his goddamn thing. You guys gave him his flowers when everything was going right, and now you're fucking meddling like in every single little fucking let the man, It
would be interesting to know how much creative control he has. Because that could be the fly in the ointment.
Yeah.
Because if he's being micromanaged by higher ups, and he doesn't necessarily get to give his full throttle, then maybe, people do need to cut him some slack. Because you can only do what you are being told you can do, even within your creative control. Yeah.
Check out what Kevin Nash had to say for those of you that don't know what we're talking about. And
he should know. Yeah. Because, the friendship that him and X-Pac and, Nash and Shawn Michaels have had for many, many years.
Yeah, yeah. But the point I was making with that, like, in 2026, it's become so challenging to watch all these shows on a week-to-week basis because of the lack in quality. And it's just the fine little things that, like, I've been noticing more and more and more that just has me baffled and just... So I'll give you a perfect example. This ain't long-winded. I can be done with this in like 30 seconds. Obafemi comes out. Nobody wants to challenge him for his open challenge this past Monday night on Raw. Adam Pearce is like, nobody wants to face you. And Oba's like, the fuck you mean nobody wants to face me? So what does Oba do? Oba goes to the back. He finds the first two men that he sees. And, he beats the shit out of them. He puts one over his shoulders, drags the other one by the hair, drags him into the ring, beats the shit out of him. So does that mean now Oba's a bad guy? Because remember, he beat Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was the bad guy, the way it was built.
Mm-hmm.
And Oba, pretty much put him in his place. And I'm looking at that form of storytelling and I'm going, what are we doing here? Is WWE thinking from the standpoint of we're going to build up Oba, but at the same time, we're going to kind of let shit in storyline get to his head that his shit don't stink, only for him to have a rude awakening. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, and that rude awakening, what's it going to be in the form of? What, is Lesnar going to come back and get his revenge by beating this dude, humble him? Like, what's the payoff going to be in regards to this open challenge, right? That's a rhetorical question, but like, that's the type of shit that I have where I'm looking.
Well, you also have to make sure that in your storytelling, there's continuity. Because without continuity, believability goes out the window.
Yeah. I mean, that's true too. But like, let's just, but that's like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. When Jacob and Roman have been doing their thing the past couple of weeks and the Usos are nowhere to be found, and Roman said to them, you guys gonna roll with me? Yo, Us, wherever the bloodline is in your city, we gonna be there, Us. And like, Jacob's been beating the shit out of Roman Reigns. Usos nowhere to be found. Like, are they in catering? Did Roman say, I don't need your help? They finally started kind of cleaning that up this past Monday, but it took them so many weeks to finally, there's like these little nuanced things that WWE, for example, they keep doing, and it's like, what the fuck? They've got the talent. I'm looking at promotions like WWE. They got the talent, but the writing fucking sucks ass, right? And I find it really hard to be a wrestling fan in 2026 because it's become so oversaturated with copy paste, monkey see, monkey do bullshit. But at the same time, I look at what AEW did recently with the, what are they calling it? The fairway to hell or whatever. And this was done at like a golf course or a baseball stadium. I'm like, holy shit. From a media production standpoint, the lighting, the production, everything was fucking, it's the type of presentation where if you're flipping your channel, you're going, what the fuck is this? This looks really fucking cool. Let me just put this remote down for a little bit. I want to see what this is about. Right? Whereas TNA, WWE, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, LFG, they all look the fucking same. Mm-hmm. Right? They all look the fucking same. I can't even stomach NXT like there used to be a time where like NXT was the place to be. I can't even fucking,
Yeah.
I can't even tolerate fast forwarding through NXT these days. Now it's just, I'll just read the results.
Oh, wow.
I'll hop on YouTube and, if the thumbnail looks interesting, I'll just click on that. And otherwise I'm good. I mean, for God's sake, NXT, they just introduced this young man called Mason Rook. This young man called Mason Rook. Dude looks like he is... What's going on here? Ring doorbell went off. Nothing? Okay. This young dude from the UK, his name is Mason Rook. I guess he's supposed to be the next Kevin Owens or whatever. Here's the problem. Doesn't look masculine at all. Doesn't look masculine at all. Go hop on your phone since you got your phone right there. Type in NXT Mason Rook. His last name is spelled Rouke, like Mickey Rourke. Mm-hmm. And that's my challenge to everybody else that has not seen how this young man looks. Type that image in, right? Everybody's going, oh, he's the next big deal. He's the overnight sensation. He's the bona fide star. He's, And I'm looking at this man. I'm going, wait, you're trying to sell me that this dude is somebody I need to be watching on my TV set each and every single week? This is who you're trying to sell me? No, I wish Mason Rook looked like that. Tams just showed me an image of a guy that looked like you can do better than that. That's him, but you can do better than that. I want to make sure you find a picture where it's just him by himself. No. See, now you're just guessing. Hang on here. Tams is now just showing me random ass fucking pictures of random ass white men. And it's like, no. Mason Rook, what are you doing?
That's what I typed in.
Mason Rook, you should be clicking on that, and then you should be finding images of the young man. Hang on here. Damn. She's like literally showing me 4 different images of this guy. You type in Mason Rook, Rouke, put in NXT at the end of it.
I did.
Okay. Who is your search provider? I'm curious.
Google.
No wonder. Mine's is Bing. Let me help you out a little bit, because Bing helps me cut through all that bullshit. That's how he looks. Okay? You should see the facial expression Tams just made. Okay?
What the hell?
Yes. WWE
That's their next sensation?
This is the next new sensation. That's supposed to make me watch NXT each and every single week.
Only if they're having a foodie contest.
It's funny you mention that, because like I was thinking about the big kid from Stand By Me, the cherry pie eating contest. And then they did something and like he ended up puking on everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what this dude reminds me of.
That does not spark. I gotta watch.
Look, us big dudes, us big people, we gotta stick together. But at the same time, it's like if this is what you're trying to sell me as a consumer for watching your product each and every single week.
That looks like a fucking bag of wooden nickels. Like you think it's something that's supposed to be good, but
yeah. And then some people are like, oh, no. He's like, Kevin Owens. But here's the thing. Kevin Owens actually looked like he'd kick somebody's ass.
Yeah, this looked like he'd have a burger with you.
Yeah.
Or, some type
or eat your burger. He looks like he'll eat his burger and then he'll eat your burger. And you won't do a damn thing about it.
Right, because he might sit on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't spark confidence in anything.
Yeah.
Can he wrestle? Have you actually seen him actually in the ring?
Do you think I want to watch him wrestle after seeing how he looks?
No, but
I mean, if I'm not sold on the look, it's like the hell I want to watch him wrestle for. I mean, seriously. That's not me being a dick. I mean...
Well, I thought, maybe
no.
it's more, there's more in the book than what's on the cover.
No. I promise you, if I ever do watch NXT, it will be... If I ever do watch NXT, it will be on demand, and I will be fast-forwarding his segments. I don't care who the hell... I will be fast-forwarding his segments like a motherfucker. Shout out to AEW though. I mean, at least they're trying to think outside the box. Shout out to Tony Khan and them. Shout out to the folks over there at JCW with Vince Russo and Violent J. At least they're trying. At least they're fucking trying. I appreciate the effort, like really, because when you're making an effort, that gets my attention. Right? We need more people. We need more of these wrestling promotions to really be thinking outside the box and all that shit, because wrestling in 2026, it really has become fucking exhausting. It really has. Now, some of you guys may say, well, Lee, why continue to cover it? Like, I've grown up on it for like so many years there's still that kid in me that likes it, right? And like when shit's going right, I love talking about it. Obviously, when shit's going wrong, I want to talk about it in ways of improvement. But if you've also paid attention over the years, we've been very fortunate enough through the years where we don't box ourselves into a corner. And it's like, well, all we're going to talk about is just wrestling.
True.
And I don't know if it was maybe hindsight being 2020 or what, but when I created all these shows, it was like, I don't want to just 100% be the wrestling guy. I want to, a lot of people may tune in for that, but like, I want to be a jack of all trades. I want to be able to go all over the place, and it doesn't feel forced in any type of way. It feels very, very natural. And yeah, now more than ever, I've definitely been finding myself in 2026 watching more and more TV shows, movies, and all that other stuff. Some real good shit that I've been missing out on, as opposed to, some of this garbage that I see going on with some of these promotions. Hey, let's look at the Washington Commanders 2026-2027 schedule and offer some predictions on their win-loss record. We did pretty good the last go round. I'm going to pull up the schedule right now. And any news caught your eye recently as far as Commanders news, or no?
No, not really. I know they, did a couple of good pickups as far as supporting the quarterback. I think I definitely know they got a wide receiver and then I think one or two other people, but how that's going to equate to, the team's season, we shall see.
Okay. So, and Jaden Daniels, he's now 100% because I know he was injured
last year
towards the end, right?
Yeah.
So is he now 100% healthy or?
I think so. As far as I know, I think so.
Because remember, when it's all said and done, the Commanders, they're rebounding from a disappointing 5-12 season.
Last year sucked.
Yeah, last year definitely sucked. And to your point about head coach Dan Quinn and some changes, you got David Blau, who became the offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Durante Jones, he's now the defensive coordinator. Both are first-time coordinators at their positions for Washington. And as far as how the Commanders did in the draft, they went very heavy on defense. That's what they're focused on. So Washington,
they needed that.
Yeah, they did. They drafted Sonny Styles with the number 7 overall pick from Ohio State. And, they emphasized that the team views him as a do-everything defender capable of playing multiple linebacker spots and blitz packages. So they're very, very high on him. Some other key additions that Washington picked up in the free agency there: Adafi Owa, Kaylavon Chasen, Leo Chanel, and Nick Cross. Organization's focus has clearly been about rebuilding the defense with speed and flexibility. Jaden Daniels still the focus there, and looks pretty interesting there. And then let's not also forget we got that stadium of ours that's coming. Target opening for that is 2030.
Yeah, it looks badass. I mean, the preliminary designs and stuff, it looks badass.
Yeah. We're having some problems with the metro, though, because, like, the nearest station is Stadium Armory. And
they're trying to figure out the redesign.
Yeah.
Because they're not opening another station.
A new station, a brand new station to try to help with the fan congestion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're not interested in doing that. They said it would be a bad mistake if they were to go in that direction. So the schedule right now.
Oh,
yes.
The other piece of news that I did remember is Mariota is retiring. So I wonder who's going to be backup quarterback and third string.
Won't be Aaron Rodgers, as we see. Apparently, he's gonna sign a 1-year deal, allegedly, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, thus reuniting with Mike McCarthy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But he was with the Steelers last year, right?
Who was? Aaron Rodgers? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess they're doing a year-to-year deal to see what happens. Okay.
So I tell you what, let me get a pen and paper here. I got a pen. Actually, no, I don't have a pen. I have a pen right here, though. And I have a piece of paper ready to go. And I will jot down our win-loss record. Let's see how we do this time. Now, we don't care about the preseason, but for those that do, here's how the preseason is looking right now. Hang on here. Oh, that's so nice. They showed me the schedule for last year. That's nice. I want to see the schedule for this year, though. That's what I want to see. Here we go. 2026. I can only imagine how much the tickets are going to be this go round. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, wow. It just has me jump right to the regular season. Okay, fuck it. I'll take that. Fuck it. I'll take it. All right, week 1 at Philadelphia Eagles.
Loss.
Let's see. You're saying loss. Hang on, let me break this down. Win and loss. And we'll jot it right down the middle. Right down the middle. Okay. So week 1, you are going with a loss. I will match you. All right, week 2 at Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, they're going to be doing a lot of traveling this season. That much I do remember hearing.
I saw that. I saw we didn't have a whole lot of home games.
Nah.
At Dallas. Win.
I will match you. Week 3, home game, Seattle Seahawks. Current Super Bowl champions, correct? Yes, current Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, I think Seattle is actually the current. So, are they? Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, interesting. And I didn't remember that.
I'm going to go with a loss.
I'll defer. Win.
You're going to say win. Okay. Week 4, Indianapolis Colts.
Are they still in their rebuilding phase?
Kinda.
Win.
I'm going to say loss. Hang on. That's week 4. Hang on. That was week 4. You're saying win?
Yeah.
I'm saying loss. Okay, week 5. New York Giants.
Win.
I'm going to say loss. Week 6, San Francisco 49ers.
Loss.
I am going to say... I'm going to say loss. Week 7, Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to say win.
Yeah, me too.
Hang on here. Oh, they get a bye week in week 7. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Hang on here. Week 7. Week 7 is a bye. So let me write that down. Because that's got to carry over to what we just did. Week 7 is a bye week. I just got to write that down. Okay. Week 9.
8.
No. We're on a week 9. Because week 7 is a bye week. What we just did with the Eagles, that's week 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Week 9.
I almost threw myself off. Week 9, Los Angeles Rams. That's a loss.
Yeah, I think that's a loss too.
Week 10, New York Giants. I'll say win.
Yeah.
Week 11, Cincinnati Bengals. That's a good team. It's a good team.
Good team.
I'll say win.
I'm gonna. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. Week 12, Arizona Cardinals.
Win.
I'm gonna say loss. Week 13, Tennessee Titans.
They were decent last year.
Yeah, they were.
Loss.
I am gonna say. I'm gonna say win. Week 14, Texans.
You just said that.
I did?
Yeah.
No. I said Titans.
Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Texas. Oh, okay. Win.
Win for the Texans?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to say loss. Week 15, Falcons. I'm going to say win.
Yeah. Me too.
Week 16, Vikings.
Win.
Vikings. I'll say win as well. Week 17, Jaguars.
Win.
I'm going to say loss. And the season finale against the Cowboys.
Here or there?
At Dallas. Remember, they faced the Cowboys
second week.
Second week. Both games are at Dallas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, no Thanksgiving Cowboys game, huh? Yeah, no Thanksgiving Cowboys game.
Interesting.
So it looks like I guess their Thanksgiving is against the Bengals, November 23rd. Is that?
It's the week before.
Oh no, that's Monday. So wow, so they're not playing on Thanksgiving this year.
Well, they played last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving.
It just seems like it's always a yearly tradition for
That's true.
Commanders doing something on Thanksgiving. Okay, well, good for them. Who you got? You going for? Let's see. Week
is the
2.
26th.
Week 2, you had
them winning.
Yeah. So you got them doing a sweep, or
historically, Cowboys usually their season is tanked by then. But I'm gonna say win.
I'm gonna go for the sweep as well. I'm gonna say win. So talk for a little bit. Let me add this up and see how we're looking. I wonder if our records are going to be better than what we did for them last year, or what? Because we got a lot right last year.
Okay.
We were off a little bit though on the wins.
Well, here's the other part of that is. They also lost Jaden Daniels.
That's also true.
So that was part of our, it was like, oh, okay, well, that's a fly in the ointment. So, as I was saying, that Mariota retired. He officially announced that about 2 weeks ago, I think, 2 weeks to 3 weeks ago. So he is retiring from the NFL. So it'll be interesting to see who their backup is, and what they can bring to the table. Obviously, we'll see a lot of that in preseason generally. The backups usually play. They don't usually play the starters in preseason. They want to see what they can do, and then they go from there. So that is what I'm thinking. Hold on. Sorry.
Holy shit. Listen to this. And I want to make sure I added this up right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
This is hilarious. Y'all might be like, Tams, what you smoking there, buddy? Wifey's got the Commanders going 13-4 this season. That's 13-4. Meanwhile, I have the Commanders going 8-9. This is your last chance before we lock. Okay, so you're locked in.
I stick with what I say.
You stick with what you say. So you're locked in. Okay, I'm locking in. I'm not finagling here. So, okay. You got them 13-4. So my question to you, with 13-4, is that enough for them? Like, are you picturing them locking a seed? Are you picturing them playing for a wild card spot? What are you picturing there with a 13-4 record?
I say they're at minimum in the playoffs.
So you think they're going to lock a berth, a playoff berth?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me write that down. Locks, playoff, berth. Okay. With that record, you got them locking the playoff berth. Now, the very first playoff game, do you have them or it's a little bit too premature? You got to circle back. You want to circle back to that.
I think I'd rather circle back to that because we haven't really
Okay, so you won't circle back.
Anything from anything.
So we'll circle back. Okay, now then, 8-9 for me. So now my question that I have to answer is, with an 8-9 record, will that be enough for them to maybe play a wild card? Jesus Christ, 8-9 record.
That's iffy.
8-9 record. Oh, that's a tough one, fam. That's a tough one. 8-9 record. I think it really depends on how healthy Jaden can be. How well this defense. I mean, look, I like the moves that they're doing as far as defense goes and all that. But with an 8-9 record, and then I'm just thinking about what's like their division rivals. I don't know, guys. I don't think. What do you all think? I don't think 8-9 is going to be enough. I don't think 8-9 is going to be enough, sadly. So I'm going to go on ahead and say. See, my gut instinct is usually right. And when I usually trust my gut instinct, like, it's never let me down. But my gut instinct is saying, no, they'll get a wild card. They'll get a wild card little joint. But I want to defy my gut instinct here. I'm going to say no wild card. Yeah. If I'm being quiet, it's because I'm writing all this down. I'm going to say no wild card. opportunity. Just 8 and 9. That's going to be it for them. That's how I'm looking at that. So, hey, remember Tam's record though, 13 and 4. That is wow. That is ballsy right there. We shall see what happens with that. Tams had to go ahead and split because she has somebody that is coming by the house for a quick hello. I'm actually starting to feel a little hungry, to be honest with you. I'm about ready for some lunch anyway. Let me give you guys some quick programming notes and give a shout out to our sponsors before we get ready to wrap it up. And for those of you that like the way we have broke down what just happened with the Commanders, next show we do for you guys, I'm hoping it'll be next weekend. We will definitely talk about the Baltimore Ravens. And then, you know what? We'll squeeze in there the Seattle Seahawks as well. We'll give you guys 2-1 right there. Look at the Super Bowl champions as well. So tune in for that. That'll be really, really good. Programming notes. I will be back on the air with you guys Monday, May 18th, soon as Raw on Netflix goes off the air. So tune in for that. That should be good. Keep your fingers crossed for your man, too. I'm hoping by then I will have my regalia. Otherwise, I don't know, because they've already said if you don't have your regalia, you're not going to walk. So at that point, it's all about getting a refund, right? So I'm hoping that there's going to be some type of movement between tomorrow and actually between today and tomorrow, I should say. Hey, the RC. Oh, my God. I got the shows mixed up. See, that's what happens when Tams is like, hey, I'll be right back. Like, okay, go. And now I'm like in solo mode right now. But no, Wrestling with the Topics is brought to you in part by our good friends over at Questions for Cancer Doctors via Q4CD.com. If you've recently been diagnosed with prostate cancer or know someone that's recently been diagnosed with prostate cancer, before making treatment decisions, get clarity from someone who's been there. You can speak with Dr. Williams, a retired lieutenant colonel and radiation oncologist who helps men and veterans understand their options and ask the right questions before moving forward. Check them out today, Q4CD.com. Also, we're brought to you in part by our good friends behind the video game Whisper UTC. If you're a fan of tabletop, role-playing, combat games, this game right here delivers fast-paced urban tactical combat that hits hard. Build your crew, dive in, get to choose from 46 unique classes. What are you waiting for? Go check out Whisper UTC right now by visiting drivethrurpg.com. Once again, that's drivethrurpg.com. So yeah, I'll be back with you guys Monday, May 18th. And that's going to be the go-home show for Saturday night's main event, of which I will be doing a post show with you guys. Hey, if you guys did not get an opportunity, go check out the post show that I did with Mish, my best friend from Wrestling Soup. We had him come on over here. Nice change of pace. The special edition of the RCWR show. Where we had did Backlash Fallout. I see that's been well received for you guys. I am so sorry, by the way. I just, you guys should know me by now. Like, I hate when there's audio issues. Like, I do. I hate when there's audio issues. I hate when there's streaming issues. But once again, I just want to offer sincere apologies because everything was so set up perfectly for that stream with Mish last weekend. And all of a sudden, just gremlins out the ass. The big bulk of the gremlins, though, had to do with who our streaming provider was initially. I had been messing around with a company called EV Mux. Sounds like Elon Musk, doesn't it? But I was messing around with them for a little bit. And I had to get Tams to remind me, like, why did I jump from StreamYard? And Tams was like, you jumped from StreamYard because StreamYard kept fluctuating with the prices. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, I don't remember you ever complaining about the stream quality. Like, you were complaining about the prices with StreamYard. I'm like, okay. And so every time I turned around when it came to EV Mux, the streams would just they would somehow get interrupted. Like you would lose audio, you'd lose visual of me, like every single stream. And when you've got a brand new MacBook and you know what the MacBook is capable of, and and all you're doing is just a traditional web stream, you're not, doing videos, and your joint's set up so that it's not really eating that much RAM. That's like, what's going on here? Like, what are we doing? So we did a test run with StreamYard last week, and that show went off without a hitch. And then what you're checking out now is the full blown this show that you're listening to right now that we streamed live. I'll let you in on a little secret, and I can't wait to play this back when the show is over. But this show in particular, behind the scenes little peek here. So I ended up testing out a new internet provider for this show and for the next couple of shows. So I'll share this with you real quick, and then I'll dip out. So, and it's not long-winded. So my Xfinity bill has just been through the fucking roof, right? I'm like, why is my Xfinity bill like this much when I used to be paying only this much? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And so it got to a point where I was telling Tams, I said, you know what, we need to look for some alternatives, because like this is just getting, out of hand. And I just happened to remember the T-Mobile commercials running around with the two goofy guys from Psych. I think no, they're not from Psych. Right? No, they're not from Psych, but they're from some show. Maybe it's Scrubs. I don't know. But I remember the black dude and the white dude from the T-Mobile commercials. I'm like, oh, they're always talking about home internet. And so I did some research, looked in my area, and I basically got something called the Home and Away bundle, right? So you get this big old white box, right? It's a big old white box. And it's basically your Wi-Fi gateway network, okay? And it comes with an adapter, and you can pretty much just plug it any and everywhere, right? You do that. And then from there, once it boots up, you got the Wi-Fi password that's on the back of the device. So then you just take whatever your device is, your TV set, whatever, and then you hook up to that, and then you're good to go. I love the idea of that. I gotta say. So I was telling Tams about it, and she was like, well, if you're gonna do it, what does that mean for Xfinity? I said, if anything, we can just pause the Xfinity bill for a little bit while we look into some alternatives. And she's like, okay, bet. Now, I gotta say this to you. If you do a lot of traveling and you're looking at something like this is definitely gonna come in handy for you. I just love the versatility. I love the fact that you can just pretty much pick this thing up and you can just go where you need to go, right? So if that means like you got an RV or you got some type of vehicle where you can easily just connect USB Type C, and then you got your little network gateway, traveling with you and all that. Like I like that. That's actually really, really cool, because in our family we do a lot of traveling and all that. As far as like how much I'm paying for, so right now I'm not paying anything. It looks like they're letting me try it out for basically about a whole month before the bill generates. But I'm paying $165 a month. There is supposed to be some taxes in there, but none of that mystery bullshit where you're like, what the fuck? Like, it's straight, no bullshit. Like, here it is, clear as day, and no hidden fees. This is what you will always be paying every single month. So I like the transparency in that, because every time I'm looking at my Xfinity bill, I'm like, how does this make sense? Like, it doesn't. Like, what the hell? And every time I have tried speaking to Xfinity, they've been like, oh, well, we can lower your plan. We can, like, no, you're not listening, right? I got to tell you, I picked it up on Friday and it's now Sunday. I've done any and everything that you guys can think of. I've streamed video games. I've streamed my YouTube TV. I've streamed music. I mean, I've done some heavy load shit with it. And it's done fantastic so far. This stream you're checking out right now is the first stream that we're doing with that new internet thing. So I think it's gone good, right? Right. So I'll kind of give you guys a little peek under the hood. And if you're curious, like what I'm paying for with Xfinity right now, Jesus Christ, I got to be paying at least, I think I'm paying about $215, $220 with Xfinity right now. Now, after this T-Mobile internet bill generates, I would imagine after taxes, maybe it'll put me at about if it puts me at about 185, just under 190, that's got my attention as far as switching. So I'll continue to let you guys know what I think. But like for the download, upload, I mean, it is on fucking point. I did the speed test and everything. Everything is just, it lights up so fucking fast. Now, a little caveat to that. My Xfinity router was installed downstairs, middle level of my house. And God bless the technician because he was a sweetheart. He was like, are you sure, Mr. Sanders, you don't want this installed on the upper level since, you and your family are up on the upper level. You spend most of your time up there. Like that would make more sense because the signal would be at its most strongest. And I said, nah, let's just leave it down on the middle level. He's like, okay, all right, you're the boss. And so I don't know if that kind of, right, because I have the T-Mobile modem. I have it up here on the middle level, right? Because again, it's one of those devices you can just unplug, plug it wherever you need it and all that. So for those of you that are curious, okay, well, are you experiencing the opposite in your home when you're maybe chilling on a sofa or something, on the middle level? Is the signal still very strong, or is it kind of weak? No, signal is still strong. I'm able to browse, all that good shit. One thing I do want to point out for you guys though, if you're kind of like me and you want to, test out a new internet, make sure that you disconnect your old router. Make sure you do that because I notice even once you've hooked up your devices with the T-Mobile router, like it'll happen like maybe once or twice out of the whole day. You'll find yourself in a position where, like, let's say you're done with your phone for the night and your phone's been connected to the home internet and all that shit with the T-Mobile internet. And then let's just say you go to bed for the night and maybe you wake up next day and you're trying to browse your phone. You're like, oh, what the fuck's going on? And then you see that your phone has tried to go back to your old internet setup. Like the best thing to do if that happens, just unplug your fucking old internet. That way you can always stay connected to the T-Mobile internet. So hopefully all that information helps. But yeah, I'll definitely talk about it very, very briefly one more time on the Monday show, since that'll be the third day that I've been playing around with this. But the family loves it so far. I got to tell you, the family loves it. If anything, they're like, yo, seems like it's, more responsive overall, all that good shit. For all the very latest, be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search the RCWR show. If you enjoyed this episode, shout out to you guys, particularly on YouTube. Make sure you smash that thumbs up on the video. Helps put more eyeballs on the content. And yeah, social media, the usual outlets. Shout out to friends of the show as well. Enjoy the rest of y'all's Sunday / the weekend. And I will see you guys Monday night for all new edition of the RCWR show covering Raw Fallout. We'll get into some fun little headlines as well. Until next go around, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another.